Buongiorno da Tbilisi in Georgia. Quella che vedete alle mie spalle è la cattedrale della Santissima Trinità, la chiesa più importante della città ed è anche la terza chiesa ortodossa più alta del mondo. Adesso andiamo e ci facciamo un giro, una passeggiata, ma in questo video voglio anche presentarvi una persona speciale, una ragazza che ho conosciuto in questi giorni che ha visitato tutti i paesi del mondo. Ne andremo a parlare fra un po'. Sono arrivato proprio di fronte alla chiesa. Guardate, c'è uno spiazzo grandissimo dove si vede tutta la città e questa è l'entrata. Adesso andiamo a fare un giro. No foto? Ah, ok. Ragazzi, non posso fare foto, quindi vado a interrompere qua. Ok. Una passeggiata di 5 minuti dentro la chiesa, niente di speciale, abbastanza grande. Non potevo fare foto, non potevo fare video, non mi è piaciuta tanto, molto moderna, diciamo. Questa chiesa è stata costruita tra il 1995 e il 2004, quindi storia recente. Si vede appunto dagli interni che comunque è abbastanza moderna. Allora adesso ci facciamo un giro qui su questo spiazzale e vediamo il paesaggio. E tutto intorno c'è anche un monastero e ci sono dei giardini. Qui si vede un po' della città di Tbilisi e qui c'è la mia amica Gina. Ciao Gina!
Ciao, buongiorno!
Buongiorno a te! Allora faccio una piccola introduzione sulla storia di Gina. Praticamente lei è una italo-americana, i suoi nonni erano siciliani, ha girato tutti i paesi del mondo, 193 paesi, nazioni riconosciute dalle Nazioni Unite. Ha completato questo giro del mondo a dicembre del 2020, quindi durante la pandemia, e adesso sta facendo il secondo giro del mondo e si trova qui a Tbilisi. Adesso parleremo in inglese con lei e andremo a fargli qualche domanda. Ok, so Gina, first question. What do you know in Italian?
Well, I studied Italian in college, but it was just books and not immersion approach, so I don't know many words.
Okay, which words you know?
Buongiorno.
Uh-huh.
Ragazzi.
Okay. Do you know buonissimo?
It's good, right?
Yeah. Buonissimo. You know this gesture?
No.
Okay, when kids, they eat something and they like something, they do buono or buonissimo.
Oh, okay.
So it's delicious. All right. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Tell me a little bit what are your memories of your first trips?
Well, when I was a kid, my family actually didn't travel that much. We were just average middle-class family, and we did the classic American road trip. We drove to Florida, to Disney World, in our station wagon, so you can imagine how that was. 2 little kids in the back fighting each other. My first international trip was probably 10 or 11, and I also was overland to Mexico.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was Nuevo Laredo, and it was not that well developed, but I still vaguely remember the sights and the smells and the sounds were very different. The taste was very different.
Mexican food,
yeah, than anything I had ever experienced.
So this was your first travel abroad, outside the US?
Yes, was to Mexico.
What was your first trip that you did solo, and at what age?
Solo trip, let's see. I was just out of grad school, and I went to Europe with 2 friends, and then on the trip we parted ways.
Okay.
And I spent the rest of, like, it was another week or so by myself. And so that was my first solo trip, was in actually Italy. And
in Italy, you were traveling solo in Italy. Nice.
Yes, yes.
Cool. What do you remember of Italy of that time?
Oh, well, it was my first trip solo. It was also my first trip to Europe. So I was just overwhelmed with the history, the sights, the people, the food, the wine. It was sensory overload for me. And it got me addicted to travel, I think.
Wow, nice. E qui abbiamo dei negozietti souvenir, e questo è Gamarjoba, che significa ciao, hello. Gena Genazzvale souvenir, thank you very much, thank you. Gamarjoba, Gamarjoba. Ok. E guardate il pane tipico georgiano. Andiamo a trovare il pane tipico georgiano. You wanna go and found the typical bread from Georgia?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's go. Se non mi investono prima. Quel tipo con il pane veniva di qua. Ok, eccolo qua. Guardate qui, questo è un panificio Gamarjoba e questo è Khachapuri cheese, Khachapuri cheese. Ok, the bread is too big to eat that bread. Quel pane è troppo grande. You want to try one of these?
Yes, yes, let's
We
try
can
it.
share one.
Yes.
Ok, one Khachapuri with the cheese. Ok.
This is like, in USA we have what they call...
Hot dog.
Yes, hot dog.
Hot dog, kind of. Ok, Gina, you wanna try the Khachapuri?
Yes.
Ragazzi, stiamo provando un pochino di street food e questo è il famoso Khachapuri. Ce ne sono vari tipi, di varie forme e questo è ripieno di formaggio. So Gina, you have to remember which word I...
Buonissimo.
Brava! Ok, so after you try you have to say buonissimo.
It's
Quite big,
yes,
yeah.
It is.
Ok,
Okay.
prova, prova.
Buonissimo.
Ah, perfect. Okay, how do you find the cheese?
The cheese is salty, kind of like maybe more like feta cheese.
Ah, ok, ok, sì.
It's quite good.
I formaggi qui sono abbastanza salati, devo dire, in Georgia. E questi sono altri snack. Questo si chiama lobiani, che è pieno di fagioli, praticamente. Questo è quello che stiamo mangiando. Questo non l'ho mai assaggiato, ma credo che ci sia della carne dentro. E qui c'è la Pepsi Cola georgiana. Pepsi Cola from Georgia. Ok, mi stanno facendo entrare nel panificio. Wow, molto caldo. Tony, where is Tony? Tony, that's Tony? Tony. Ok. Oh, wow. Wow. E questo è il forno dove praticamente mettono il pane a cuocere attaccato alle pareti. Italiano, sì. Pronto? Parli italiano allora. Italiano vero. Prova. Singing.
Hello Italia.
Ciao Italia. Ciao Italia. What's your name?
Salome.
Salome.
Yes.
Ah, like the Queen Salome. I'm Gianni. Nice to meet you. And she is Gina.
Gina.
From
Gina.
America.
Oh.
And she is eating khachapuri. This is tonis or shotipuri?
No, potato, mushroom.
Ah, okay.
Like Shiva, that's all we can hear.
Okay.
Yes, beans.
Wow. Lobiani.
Yes, beans.
Spettacolo, ragazzi. Allora, questo qui è perfetto. Questo è il Lobiani fatto con quello che vi ho fatto vedere. Questo è ripieno di praticamente una pasta di fagioli ed è buonissimo questo qua, appena sfornato. Guardate qua che bello, spettacolo. Bellissimo.
Bellissimo, yes.
Potato perashki and mushroom perashki. Kartopili.
Kartofili, yes.
And
Sotos.
sotos perashki. Ok. Ragazzi, sto imparando anche il georgiano. I can say Gamarjoba,
Georgia, Sakartvelo.
Didi Madloba. Ok, i perashki sono i miei favoriti e ne ho mangiati tantissimi. Sono in pratica ripieni di o patate o di funghi. Lo arrotola, poi lo stringe con le dita. Adesso ci passa anche il mattarello sopra, gli dà la forma e pronti.
Khachapuri.
Khachapuri,
Yes.
Everything khachapuri.
Все. Shevida, 20 minutes.
20, ok,
Yes.
2, alright. Paka Salome, ciao.
Italiano.
Ciao, thank you very much, Didi Madloba. Oops. Ok, proviamo il khachapuri dopo questa avventura nel panificio. Diciamo che quando è freddo non è più buono come quando è caldo, però è ancora un po' tiepido. E il formaggio è molto salato. Gamarjoba.
How are you?
I'm good.
Hi, good. Откуда ты?
Italia, Gianni.
Italia.
Italia,
Gianni
America,
Gian.
USA,
Americano?
USA, americana, Gina.
Gianni Gian.
Gianni e Gina.
Gianni e Gina.
What's your name?
Marina.
Marina, nice to meet you, Marina.
Armenia.
Yerevan.
Gideți.
Georgia,
Armenia.
Armenia. Ok, good.
Это где? Facebook или куда?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Can you say ciao Italia?
Ciao Italia. Da.
So you were solo traveling in Italy. Of course, it was not the only time that you were there. How many times you been in Italy?
I think I've been there 10 times.
Oh, wow.
I had a long-term consulting client based in Rome.
Okay.
So I went there many times for work.
All
but
right.
I haven't been as many times as I would like for pleasure. So I intend to go back very soon.
Your family, your grandparents, they come from Sicily. They arrived at the beginning of the 20th century in USA, correct?
Exactly, yeah, that's right. So my great-grandparents came over, actually separately. One came over, great-grandfather, in 1905 on a boat to Ellis Island, and then she came over, great Nana Morello came over in 1906 and brought all the children and had some more children.
Wow. And do you remember where the Morello were coming from? Which city in Sicily?
Yes, absolutely. The name of the village is Saint Stefano di Camastra in Messina.
All right, in Sicily Santo Stefano di Camastra, in provincia di Messina. I suoi bisnonni sono arrivati all'inizio del XX secolo. So I know it's very difficult to pick one favorite country, But let's say, which is the area of the world, or maybe the continent, that you always enjoy to come back?
I would say my favorite continent is Africa.
Oh.
Yes, it's a bit surprising maybe, but it's a huge continent. There's 54 different countries, each with different climates and cultures and lifestyles, religions. So you could spend a whole lifetime there and never get bored.
What kind of traveler are you? What are the things that interest you the most when you travel?
Right now, I really enjoy visiting different cultures. So, for example, I recently went to the Amazon in Peru, and I visited the Matsus people, and they're an indigenous group. They live as they have for hundreds of years, only living off the nature, and they have little, the women have whiskers that are pierced into their face to evoke images of the jaguar, which they find they hold in high regard. Another example is Omo Valley. I was there last year visiting 6 or 7 different indigenous tribes who also live as they have for hundreds of years. So, for example, the women, as part of their beauty, they wear lip plates in their lip. So they actually have a giant piercing.
Yeah, I've seen some photos like that. Yeah.
Protrudes. So right now I find that very interesting.
Ora siamo arrivati in quest'area dove c'è una chiesa, questa credo che sia più antica di quell'altra, e si chiama la chiesa Meteki. E se avete visto i miei video precedenti, questa chiesa si affaccia praticamente sul fiume. Ok, siamo all'entrata. Vediamo un po'. È molto molto piccola. Sì, E guardate qui il paesaggio con il fiume, e lì c'è Gina, e guardate qui, siamo stati là sopra alla fortezza Narikala e il giardino botanico. Vi metto il video qui in alto se volete andare a vederlo. E qui siamo alle spalle della chiesa e vi faccio vedere il paesaggio da qui. Gina, do you have some strange experience to tell me, or some food, maybe strange food that you tried during your travels?
Well, how much time do you have? I have lots of strange stories and experiences.
Okay.
But one that comes to mind was on my recent trip to the Peruvian Amazon in November, and they eat some grilled worms. So I've had grilled worms before in Africa, but these are quite thick. They're maybe this big and quite fatty, actually. So even though they're grilled, when you bite into them, like there's a lot of fat, like eating a fatty steak almost. Okay, so when I was in going to the Omo Valley, I flew with a friend to Arba-Minch, and we didn't have a tour booked. We were just going around asking the prices of tours from different local guides, and it turns out the guides there are actually in a mob, like a small mafia, and they got angry because we chose a guide outside of the mob. And so the day we were supposed to go to Omo Valley, these tour guides surrounded the hotel, the entrance and the exit, and they wouldn't let the other local guide in. He texted and said, you know, he quit because he was afraid of the mob. And this kept going on. We tried to leave, and one guy made this like slitting of the throat, threatening message, and they actually followed us on motorcycles when we were in the tuk-tuk. And then so I started to film them because I thought, well, this is the only tool that I have to protect myself, is following this angry guy, mob of tour guides. And that made them even more angry. And one came up and tried to grab my phone from me while we were moving in the tuk-tuk. And I tried to, you know, keep him from grabbing it. And then all I had was a metal thermos. And I was like ready to hit the guy over it. But luckily the tuk-tuk went to a small police station. And then from there was a lot of shouting between the tuk-tuk driver and the angry mob of tour guides. But yeah, it was kind of scary, and it sounds like it's a made-up story or something from a bad movie. But
Wow.
eventually we had to go to a different hotel and take a bus, a chicken bus, to another city to meet a guide, just so we didn't have any more incidents with the angry mob.
Qui è un po' ventoso perché si è rovinato, comunque si è rannuvolato, e quello si chiama Ponte della Pace, di cui ne abbiamo davvero bisogno in questo periodo. Oh, it's getting colder.
It is.
Ooh.
Wow.
So, guys, last question for Gina. Where are you going next? What are your future travel plans?
So my plan is, now that I've visited every country in the world, is to visit every country in the world a second time.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and I plan on documenting my travels this time around, and I want to share them with you and everyone on YouTube.
Oh, cool. So you will have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I will.
Hoo-hoo. So what will be the name of this channel?
The name is my name, Gina Morello.
Okay. So guys, I'm gonna put the link in the description if you wanna follow Gina in her adventures around the world. The channel, of course, will be in English, so you can practice your knowledge of the language. You wanna say something for the Italian audience?
Ciao, Italia.
She's learning Italian. I'm gonna teach something more to her. Spero che questo video vi sia piaciuto, questa intervista insieme a Gina in giro per le strade di Tbilisi. Non dimenticate di iscrivervi al canale, di cliccare sulla campanella, e ci vediamo al prossimo video. Ciao ciao!
Ciao!